Hello and welcome. Pull up a chair, grab a cup of coffee, cup of tea, whatever you'd like. And it's time to have a conversation from my heart to yours. Today we're talking with Brandy Fulghum,
Fulghum.
Fulghum from Florida, Angel Mom. So welcome, Brandy.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
I'm glad to know you. So you are an angel mom, sister mama. So let's talk about your angel. What can you
My,
share about them? Tell me some happy, joyous memories with
okay,
Patrick.
well, my son Patrick, um, he was he was something else. He always wanted to. One of the funniest things about him is my hair. He hated gray hair, so he was constantly wanting me to dye my hair. So right now I have a lot of gray, just because I feel like he's yelling at me all the time. Go dye your hair, mama. Go dye your hair. And his hugs were the best. He had the biggest hugs in the world and the best.
So was he, it's from what I know, what you shared about Patrick, it seems like he had a great sense of humor.
Oh, yes. He was always messing with somebody. I've got a picture of him on one of those, they used to have those um, like ride along horses on at like the Kmart's and stuff like that. And I've got a picture of him. He was probably 20 years old
Hmm.
on that horse with his hand up like he's riding the horse. He was just funny, going around with a pink wig in my niece's car, going, hey, yelling at all the girls, hey, give me a number, pink wig on and everything. And I've even got a picture of him with it, but he was just hilarious. There was never a time I think that he wasn't doing something crazy.
I'm sure girls gravitated toward him too.
You have no idea.
Well, that's good. He had a joyful personality. You have a funny picture you want to share with us of
Do.
Patrick?
I
Let's see.
do. This was Patrick. Oh, let me get it up
Put it-
there.
Ah,
That was him. That was his personality all the time. He took a picture one time in Walmart in the bra section and said, he says, this is where I can find all the girls. He was something for sure.
was he always like that throughout his life?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He was. Yeah.
Now, Patrick is your only son, right?
Yes.
Okay, but you have other kids? You have
Yes, I
daughters?
have three daughters and a niece that I call my daughter. So four.
And you have grandbabies too.
Yes, I do. Six.
Yeah, six.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
good for you. So they have a funny uncle up in heaven.
Oh, they do. They do. And my oldest granddaughter remembers a lot because they spent a lot of time together. And she has a lot of good memories. So that's good. And the little ones, they all do remember him. They have memories of him. So um, the only one that doesn't is my youngest, which was just born. But I believe that he's watching over her. He definitely is.
Oh, that's good. So do they help you find ways to make sure Patrick is remembered, their uncle?
They do. They always like they'll call me. My one grandson's call me, and they'll when they're crying and upset and they miss their Uncle Patrick terribly, and so I just tell them he's in your heart always. He's there. He's just in your heart and your memories, and that's the only thing I can say to them, because they're so young. They're
Right.
all my grandsons are 8, fixing to be 9, so
And what you tell them too is true.
yes.
It's he is in their heart.
Yes.
always will be.
And watching over
So,
them. That's what I tell them. And I
yeah.
believe that with all my heart.
Do you get signs from Patrick?
I didn't think I did for a long time. I just felt so like I wasn't getting signs, but then I opened up to the signs and
Okay.
absolutely. Rainbows, biggest thing. Cause on the back of his funeral thing, I had the poem, I'm in the rainbow. And so the rainbow is significant and feathers.
Oh, okay.
And you know, another thing is quarters.
Yeah.
Always finding quarter. Yeah, last night at work, I was finishing up and there was a quarter on the ground. I'm like, all right, Patrick. There was no one else in the building. So I was like, okay, I know that's you, buddy.
You gotta tell him, hey Patrick, send me the big bills.
I know, I did. I keep telling him, let me win Mega Millions, son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's true. What's good with the signs is exactly like you said. Once you're open to it, to receiving them,
Yes.
and if you feel it in your heart and in your gut, it is. It
Yes.
is. And it varies person to person. Like
Yes.
I don't get feathers, coins. I get hearts, heart clouds, heart. If I'm thinking of them driving, next thing you know, a car will drive by me with a heart sticker.
That is
It's just,
awesome.
it's, if you're open to it, they're there. And I think if you put it out there to the universe and you're specific, it'll come back to you.
I
It'll come
agree.
back to you
Absolutely.
because it's a reminder that our loved ones still see us. Our loved ones are there.
I think a big sign for me lately has been my youngest granddaughter. She's 3 months old, and she will look in the corner and just talk, like not talk, but you could tell she sees something, and she'll be laughing and carrying on in the corner. And I'm like, is that Patrick? Come on now. Like, what else could it be? She's literally staring at nothing, laughing. So I said, that's your uncle looking after you.
That's right. And I've heard that too, that angels appear in corners. I've heard that. Angels
Yes.
appear in corners, and a lot of times animals sense it too. Young children, babies, animals, they're open and very receptive to it. But
And
something
it's
about
funny
in the corners.
that same corner is the same corner that my daughter's dog goes to and just
Okay?
stands there and looks at the wall.
Yep.
So,
Make sure you don't punish that dog.
oh, no, no, no.
So, how long has it been since Patrick passed?
It's been 5 years.
5 years.
June 8th was 5 years.
And what's his forever age?
22.
22.
22.
Another young man taken too soon.
Yes. And
So,
he
I'm
knew it.
sorry, go
I
ahead.
mean, I just know that he knew. He even posted on Facebook that he always knew that he said he would not make it to 21. He posted on Facebook on his 21st birthday and said, oh my God, I can't believe I made it to 21. I said I never would. And he said that from the age of about 10.
Oh,
So at 22, he passed. So
that's I don't know what to say to that,
yeah,
you know, because you don't want to believe it, but something
no,
about
and I
his
always
inner
told him,
being knew that.
right, and I always told him, I'm like, stop saying that. Like you're ridiculous. But there was something, I don't know. It's just strange. But yeah, but it's another thing that, you know, he would joke, it was like a joke type thing. And I would laugh
Yeah.
it off. But he always said it. It was so strange.
So, in the 5 years that you've been on your grief journey, How has it affected you as a mom, a friend, physically, everything? How has it affected you over the course of 5 years now?
I'm not the same person I was. I think my heart has gotten bigger, um, but I also have gotten to a point where I don't. I used to let people run over me. Something about grief has made me stronger and has made me not put up with it. I'm just there. I'm just a no nonsense. And I was never like that. Like I used to just put up with it. And this grief has made me stronger and I just don't do it. I know my son would want better for me. I know he would want me um to be happy and not let people run over me.
And I think I definitely hear what you're saying. It gives you once you've lost a child like that, yeah. I think I did let people walk over me also. And now I look at it, what have I got? There's nothing left to lose.
Right.
We've lost one of our most precious things in life as a child.
Absolutely.
So it
Absolutely.
is, yeah, a strength when people say, oh, you're strong, you have a strength. It's not a strength that we wanted. It's
No.
not a strength that we asked for. It's a it's a different, I wish there was a different word to it. Am I strong because I get up every day? Maybe I am when you don't want to, you
Right.
know? I think majority of my grief journey was numb and I didn't care. You don't
Yes,
care.
the first, yep. I say the first year for me
Hmm.
was just numbness.
Yeah.
But I had a very difficult time sleeping. Um, but I was just numb. And then there was days that I was just angry. And I've never been an angry person, but I got angry. Second year hit and reality set in. He's not at the beach. He's not, just doing him.
Right.
And it really hit that he wasn't there. The third year, I just think I was so busy with, um, the advocates for our angels and things like that, that it helped me a lot
It's a
through the.
reason to write, to
Yes.
figure out what to do during the day.
Right.
So, and I wanted to bring that up.
So
Yeah.
alone the first year. I felt so alone. And the the people that come out, the police department, they give you a packet, and it's supposed to have you know counselors and things like that. So I reach out, no, nothing. And then they told me I found somebody that said something about a grief share. And so I called them and they said it was, for people that lost anybody and everybody to whatever. And
Mhm.
for me, just the way I was thinking is my own family, um, not all of them, but I had people in my family that judged me already because my son died of a drug overdose. So for me, I wasn't going to a grief share where people died of cancer when I'm already getting judged by my own family. Like, I'm going to go and say my son died of a drug overdose and they're all going to look at me like I have 5 heads. No, no.
And
And
that's a very, 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 very good point because we are judged.
yes,
by how our child died. And I was not ready for that.
Me either.
I was not ready. And like you did, trying to find a place to turn to get the support, it the field is very narrow because I know I was told to about, another group where anybody who suffered a loss can go. And I'm thinking, how am I going to go and get support? And it's going to be judgment and the stigma is going to be there.
Yes. Yes, that's stigma. Absolutely. And
So
you
I
know,
love,
that's
go
something
ahead.
first that I had an issue with is putting out that he died in the way he did. Um, because unfortunately, if he would have died in a car accident, people would have been I've seen it, so I know that people would have been more receptive to talking to you. But when your child dies of a drug overdose, it's like, ugh, they stigmatize it. You're judged, your child's judged, and I just could not do that. I wasn't going to do it.
And it's hard because they think they did it to themselves.
Yes,
They did it to themselves. And substance use disorder, addiction is a disease. So,
absolutely.
so part of what many of us do is we're trying to spread that message that it's a disease. It's absolutely a disease. And Ryan's death was labeled accidental overdose. But then when I found out afterward, it was fentanyl poisoning.
Yes,
Somebody took that choice from him,
yes,
and so many of our kids are passing that way. And it is that choice is taken from them. Nobody grows up and chooses to suffer from addiction.
right,
It's like, okay, let's figure out how we can make the shift so more people are getting help than what we're losing.
right.
When we look at the numbers, the ballpark figure now is 300, over 300 people a day are dying from
It's
overdoses.
sickening, and I guarantee you, 80% to 90% of these children, our children, are
Mhm.
dying from fentanyl,
Yeah.
and
And
that
it's getting worse.
and it's getting worse. Absolutely.
It's getting worse. And now there's a new drug out there, ISO, that is more potent than fentanyl. So that's only a matter of time before that takes away these kids. And the
Yeah.
sad part is, from the groups that we're in a lot of the same groups. We see the average age, they're young adults.
Yes.
They're young adults. They're leaving behind children. So
Yeah.
that means a generation of young children are being raised without one or both parents.
Absolutely.
And when is the shift going to happen in the country to make it matter?
I don't know. That's a hard one because I don't know that, and and I hate to say this, but until it's their children,
Hmm. Right. You're right. You're right. Until it affects, and I think that's with anything. When an illness affects your family personally, you become more aware of it.
absolutely.
So I mean, it is. It's what happens. But what I want to talk about is how you have turned your grief into purpose and a focus by creating your support group. So you want to share about the support group that you have with another angel mom and tell us about that?
Absolutely. I started out going to the sheriff's department, and they put me in what would it be? It was called the opioid committee meetings, and we would go every month, or it was twice a month at the time. And I met Della Wiggins. She lost her son John. Um, we started talking a lot, and one of my main things was, again, I would not go to the grief support. I I personally would not do it. She actually was in a grief support, so it was a little different, but we were able to come together and figure out that we need a group. We need a face-to-face group for parents to come and be able to talk about their children in a safe place where they can come and not feel judged or stigmatized by anybody, because everybody in that room lost their children in the same way. Drug over.
Yeah, and it's that commonality. It's a tragedy, that common bond, but it also is comforting
Yes. Yeah. We
because
it's so important. So many parents have said to me that Della and I don't realize how much it's helped them. And I say to them, well, you don't realize how much it helps me, because I'm there also. I'm also able to open up about Patrick and the things that, the red flags that maybe I should have seen,
Mhm.
and just talk about him, good things and the bad things, whatever it may be. And it's nice to have other parents be able to do that. And Della is wonderful, and she does a lot of it, because we're now it's in Seminole County. It's in we do it in Longwood at Life Point Church. It's at a little building on the church's property, and we we do that the first and third Saturday of every month, and it helps. I mean, you've come to a couple meetings, and I think that's it. We don't parents don't come to every meeting, and that's fine. We're there when they need us, when they are in a spot where they are like, okay, today I really need to come to a support group. It's about the
and I
support of each
and
other.
I think the first time I went, that was exactly my mindset was I need to go. I needed to go. I needed to be with others suffering like I was. It was, I don't remember like circumstances, but I just remember it's like it compelled me like, hey, I got to go. This was a face-to-face meeting. And actually, I'm sure some are hesitant, like not really sure. But I think what I say, the hardest part with going to anything having to do with support or about yourself is walking in the door. That's the hardest part.
Yep.
Once you walk in the door, exhale, you're good to go.
Yes, I actually had a new mom come in the other day, and she was like, I almost didn't even get out of the car.
Yep.
I said, you know what? If it takes you coming here and parking and then doing it the next time and then eventually coming in, we're always here,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And she said, I'm so glad I came in,
I
and
don't think, and that I'm sure a lot feel that way. I have never regretted going to a face-to-face support group or meeting with other moms. The
right,
hardest part is walking in the door. And the thing is, you walk in a stranger, you leave as a friend.
absolutely.
Hmm.
Absolutely. We have a Facebook page. Advocates for Our Angels is the name of our support group. And we just support each other. That's what it's about. We have to have somewhere we feel comfortable. And the Facebook group is a closed group, and it is parents only that have lost from drug overdose. You cannot, people, we get people trying to get in the group all the time, and they won't answer the question that you lost a child or not. Well, you're not getting in from, because if you don't lose a child from a drug overdose, you cannot get in the group, because we want to protect our parents. We want them to be able to open up and say whatever they want to about what's going on and how they're feeling without the whole world seeing it.
And that's very much appreciated, knowing that it is the strict guidelines for members because,
We decline people every day.
yep. So as a member, I know I appreciate it, as I'm sure others do. And you make sure always that the angels are remembered on their special days
Absolutely.
because that's important. We want our kids remembered. So you
Yes.
guys do a great job of that.
Here's how, here's the thing. I'm at 5 years, and after a while, people around you forget. They forget, or they're afraid to bring up your child or to talk about them. And so to have them remembered on the page and that support from the other parents, it just, you need it, because after time goes by, your friends and family, they just, I don't
You're
want to
coming
say,
from a different place.
yes, I don't want to say they forget, and I don't want any, I don't want it
Right.
to sound negative, because it's not their child. But sometimes you do feel like you want them to remember your children. You want them to speak about them, because for me, I like to hear my son's name. I love to hear the stories, crazy stuff he used to do. It means the world to me.
And then when you are in a group after a bit, you get to know each other's angels. And it feels like you knew them in life, even though you never did. But it
Yes,
feels like you do. And I think that's a bond that I treasure.
yes, it's so funny because when I do the graphics for for the page, and I know these kids,
Yeah.
the parents, but I can go to, like, when you did Ryan's Ride, seeing faces that I recognize the children,
Yeah.
never seen the parent. You know what so
Yep.
it's like, I know that child. Where's the parent? I want to meet them, because you get to know these kids through the parents' stories and the photos. And you look into those eyes when you're doing the graphics. Like, you get to know their personalities, and it's hard in some ways, but it's really nice to feel like I know them. John, I feel like him and I knew each other.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah. It's the reward, as hard as it is, it's also rewarding to know that you're able to give something to another angel parent.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's wrap up.
Okay.
I want to thank you so much for sharing. And let's end with a positive thought. So, what do you got?
My positive thought is, you know what? It's you, I'm learning now to to learn who I am now. And just try to have a positive thought every day. Wake up every day and try to have some type of positive thought. And that's my positive. I do it
That's
every.
good. That's good. And I know sometimes, here's a tip, um, when it's really hard finding that positive, think of something the beginning of the week, put it on a sticky note, put it on your fridge. How often do we open the refrigerator door?
Yes,
That
true.
way, every time you go to the fridge, just look at it, say it out loud, like own it.
That's right. That's right.
Own it, and it might work for you.
Absolutely. And I just want to say thank you for doing this because I really think that this is going to help so many parents just to know that they're not alone and that the way they feel, if they're angry, it's normal. If they don't want to get out of bed for days, it's normal. We've all done it. We've all been in that place. Reach out. We're here for you. You can reach out to Mary Beth. You could reach out to Della Wiggins. You could reach out to myself. And you can go to the Facebook page, Advocates for Our Angels, Team Sharing, the From Project. Like, you have people, you're not alone. And I know the feeling of alone. So just know that you are never alone.
Exactly. Exactly. You are not alone.
That's right.
So you can find the From Project on Facebook. It's a public page, or you can send an email to the From Project at gmail.com. I'll put the link to Advocate for Our Angels in the comments. So no worries about that in the comments. And like Brandy said, it's so important. Remember, you are not alone.
That's
And
right.
I'm sending you love, hugs, support, and compassion
And
from
remember,
my heart to yours. And here's Ryan.
hi, Ryan.
Hey, Patrick. And I am Forever Ryan's mom. So thank you for sitting in on my conversation with Brandy. And then we'll catch you next time for the next conversation. Love
Thank
you.
you.